If you've ever tried to build a capsule wardrobe before and you just found that it didn't work for you, you ended up buying some pieces on a generic capsule wardrobe list, the must-have items every woman needs, but then you ended up not reaching for those pieces, they just ended up adding more clutter to your wardrobe. This is probably why, and I want to talk in today's video about the 4 signs that you need to do something differently in your wardrobe. What is making it hard to get dressed, and what can you do instead? When I talk about the importance of having a capsule wardrobe, I'm talking more about the foundation in your closet. These are the pieces that I have found every woman needs in her closet, and mine are gonna look differently from yours. They're gonna be in different colors, different silhouettes. They're gonna work with my personal style versus yours will look more like your personal style and work for your body type. The whole reason to have a capsule wardrobe is to make it easy to get dressed, to have these pieces in your wardrobe that are versatile, that can mix and match, that can work across seasons, so that you have everything you need to make outfits with. And after working with thousands of women for over the last 17 years, the one thing I see when it comes to somebody having a hard time getting dressed is that they don't have this foundation in their closet. They don't have a foundation that reflects their style, their body, and their lifestyle at this stage in their life. And that's what I find is the biggest problem. So when you don't have that, then it's gonna make it really hard to put outfits together. You're always gonna be wondering what shoes can go with this, or I don't have the right layer for this, or it's a hot day out and all I have is sweaters in my closet. So this is something I want you to start to pay attention to be more intentional with your wardrobe. If you are someone that does find it hard to make outfits, or you're spending lots of time every morning getting dressed and still not feeling great, these are the things that are gonna make it shift for you and make it easier to get dressed. So if you have any of the 4 main problems that I'm going to talk about in today's video, you're probably missing a good foundation wardrobe. And without that foundation, it's like having a house without a foundation. If you don't build the foundation first, whatever you put on top of it, it's not going to feel supported. It's not going to make a house that's going to be stable. It's the same thing with your wardrobe. When you don't have a foundation, when you're just buying pieces without putting a lot of thought into them, or you're buying things that are the latest trends or statement pieces, but you don't have that foundation, that's what makes it hard to put outfits together. So the first sign that this is probably you is that it takes you longer than 10 minutes to get ready in the morning. You're standing in front of your closet, you're not sure what to wear, you feel like you've tried on so many different things and nothing feels quite right. And this is one of the biggest signs that you might be missing a foundation wardrobe. It likely doesn't matter how many clothes you have. You might have a closet full of clothes. You might be someone that loves shopping and you buy a lot of things and you have a lot of things in your wardrobe, but that's not solving this problem. If it takes you longer than 10 minutes to get dressed in the morning or 10 minutes to go out in the evening with friends or whatever you do for your life, then it's likely you're missing these foundation pieces that are going to make it easy to put outfits together. And if you're not sure where to begin, I do have a free ultimate capsule wardrobe checklist for women, and this gives you a breakdown of the items that I think it's important for every woman to have in her wardrobe. And remember, yours are gonna look differently from mine. What it comes down to is the style that feels authentic to you and works for your body and your lifestyle in these foundation pieces. Make sure to grab my ultimate capsule wardrobe guide for women by clicking on the link up above or down in the description box. It's a great place to get started and start to think about being more intentional with your wardrobe and creating a wardrobe that is going to make it easy to put outfits together because you have all the missing pieces that you need. And I used to be someone that didn't even know what a foundation wardrobe was or a capsule wardrobe was. This wasn't something I ever really put a lot of thought into, but I definitely was someone that always enjoyed style and I wanted to look put together, especially if I was meeting up with friends or going out to dinner, and I always felt it was a struggle getting dressed. It would definitely take me more than 10 minutes to put an outfit together. Most of the time it took me 30 minutes or an hour. There'd be clothes everywhere, and I basically would feel like I tried on everything in my closet and nothing really worked together. And I never felt great. And that was something that I experienced over and over and over again. And it wasn't until I really got intentional with my wardrobe and figured out the pieces that I actually needed. Those high quality foundation pieces that were versatile, that worked for my body, and that fit my lifestyle and my personal style. And until I had those pieces, it was always hard to get dressed no matter where I was going. So if this is you, if you are someone that anytime you need to get dressed, you're just looking at your closet, you're trying things on, and you end up just with the same thing you're wearing over and over and over again, it's probably likely that you haven't tried to build a capsule wardrobe in this way. The next problem I've seen over and over again is that you have a lot of clothes, and no matter how many clothes are in your closet, no matter how many things you buy, you never have anything to wear. Or that's how it feels. You go to your closet, you look at all the options there, and anything you pull out of your closet, you put it on, it just doesn't feel right. So you put it back. No matter how many things you have, even with a full closet, it doesn't make it easier to get dressed. Having more clothes doesn't make it easier to put outfits together. A lot of times having less pieces of the right pieces that fit you well, that feel like your style, that work with your lifestyle, and are quality pieces are going to make it easier to make outfits. I've seen this time and time again, and I've experienced it myself as well. So if this sounds like you, the first step I recommend is to do an honest closet edit or declutter. Go through the items in your closet. Everything. The items in your dresser, the items in drawers, your shoes, your accessories, and take into account each item. And ask yourself, is this something that I like wearing or I love wearing? Or is it something that anytime I go to reach for it, I never feel great in it, so it goes back in my closet? Do that honest declutter as your first step to figuring out the pieces that you are wearing. And one thing I hear a lot from women during this step is that, well, if I get rid of 80% of my closet, that 80% that I never wear, that I don't feel good in, that doesn't feel like my style, that doesn't work for my lifestyle, if I get rid of that, I'll have nothing to wear. But the reality is you're only wearing that 20% anyway, and the extra 80% is likely just creating more clutter in your closet, which is creating more clutter in your brain, which is making more overwhelm when you go to get dressed. It's not actually giving you other options. Go through that 80% that you're not wearing and ask yourself, does it not fit me right? Is it something I could get tailored? I haven't figured out how to style it and I just need to get some inspiration and try some different things? Or is this an item that it doesn't work for my lifestyle, or it doesn't fit me anymore, or I just don't like it, but I haven't gotten rid of it because maybe I spent too much on it, or I feel guilty letting it go, someone gave it to me. But get honest with yourself, because if you want to have a closet that makes it easy to get dressed and that helps you feel confident every time you walk out the door, you're going to need to make some changes to what you've been doing now. And this is the first big step. Do that closet edit. Figure out the pieces that you are wearing. And what is it about the pieces, that 20% that you reach for over and over again? What style are those pieces? How do they fit? What kinds of items are they? What is it about those pieces that you feel really good in? And that's where you want to start to build your closet from. Thinking intentionally about the pieces that you feel good wearing and getting rid of the pieces that just don't work. The next problem I see with women who don't have a strong foundation that reflects their style, body, and lifestyle is that they end up wearing the same things over and over again. If this is you, I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing the same pieces over and over again. I'm someone that I'm much happier that I buy pieces that I love. Maybe I've spent a little bit more on, but they're high quality. They're going to last me longer. They fit me well. But that's not what we're talking about here, because this is more about you're just wearing the same pieces over and over because you just don't feel good in anything else. And you keep shopping and you keep buying and you keep getting influenced to buy other things, but then you never wear those either. Or maybe 1 out of every 10 items you wear. And this is where it becomes the problem that you don't have that strong foundation in your wardrobe. You don't have the capsule wardrobe that reflects you, that's going to make it easy to make outfits, that's going to make it easy to mix and match pieces across the different seasons. So without that foundation, you're probably going to keep reaching for that same 20% of clothes and still stay in that cycle of constantly buying more, but never feeling great in those options. Because when we have too many pieces that almost work but don't quite work, we tend to stay stuck. We tend to get overwhelmed and just reach for what's easy, reach for the pieces that we know are going to work. So what I would say for this is to take some time and be intentional with your wardrobe. Go through those pieces after you've done your closet edit, your closet declutter, and think about what are the pieces that are missing for your life. So think about your lifestyle. If you are a stay-at-home mom, you're going to need a much different wardrobe than if you go into an office and it's a more corporate setting. If you're someone that's in your 30s versus someone in your 60s, you're probably going to have different wardrobe needs and a different type of foundation wardrobe that's going to make it easy for you to get dressed. So think about what are those pieces that would make it easy for you to get dressed. And when you're talking about a capsule wardrobe that's built around you, you want to be really clear on what your style is, because you might be someone that you like certain necklines and you like certain silhouettes and you like certain colors. But what you want to think about is pieces that reflect your style, that work for your body, that are easy to wear, that are versatile. So these aren't things with lots of prints or lots of color, bright colors. Those aren't going to be the things that are going to work as versatile capsule wardrobe pieces. Those are more statement pieces, fun pieces, and they should be a part of your closet if you enjoy those. But without the foundation pieces, it's never going to make it easy to put outfits together. And this leads me to the next problem that I've seen over and over again with many women when I've gone into their closets and they have a hard time making outfits because they don't have a capsule wardrobe. And that is their wardrobe is mostly statement pieces. Maybe it's a bright color, that's their favorite color. Maybe it's prints, maybe it's trend items. They're missing that foundation, those basic essential pieces that are going to make it easy to make outfits with more statement pieces. One of my clients loved wearing a bright pink color. That was just what she felt best in. So she had tops and pants and jackets and even shoes in this bright pink. That was most of her wardrobe, or patterns that had the pink in it. But she was missing those solid neutral colors that would work with those bright pieces. So if you look at your wardrobe and you notice that it's mostly trend pieces, things that are interesting silhouettes, statement pieces, bright colors and prints that are really hard to match with anything else, or maybe they go with one other thing but nothing else, then you likely have this problem, and you're likely missing your neutral, solid color foundation pieces that are going to make it easy to mix and match some of these bolder colors, some of these statement tops and bottoms with these neutral colors. When I talk about your neutrals aren't just white, black, gray, camel. There's a wide range of neutrals. I also think of shades of blush, shades of blue, navy, shades of green. But whatever your capsule wardrobe pieces are, you want to think about it as having colors, solid colors that are high quality, that it's a color that's easy for you to wear. It's something that works with a lot of other colors and prints in your wardrobe. So for me, I love wearing navy, and navy is an easy color to mix with other things in my wardrobe. And also blush is another one, and brown is another one for me. These are pieces that I can wear with a lot of other colors in my wardrobe. So with my client, what we did, we went through her wardrobe, and when I organized it and we saw all the items that she had in this color, which was most of her wardrobe had some form of this color. And her neutral foundation pieces was, she just had a couple. We saw the problem was right there. She wasn't able to put outfits together because she didn't have anything to go with the top or the bottom, unless she was going to wear head to toe pink, which she didn't want to do that every day. She needed some more of those foundation pieces, those timeless pieces in solid neutral colors that were going to match with these other things in her closet. Look at your closet and see if this might be one of the reasons that it's hard to make outfits. And if it is, think about what are the pieces that would be helpful to have in more of a solid neutral color. So if you're ready to build a capsule wardrobe in a new way, not some generic checklist that every person needs these exact 10 items, but you're going to build that foundation based on your style, your body, and your lifestyle, and what you feel great wearing. Make sure to grab my ultimate capsule wardrobe guide for women by clicking on the link up above or down in the description box. Let me know down in the comments if this is resonating with you. And if it is, let me know if you're going to try to start building a capsule wardrobe, a foundation wardrobe that's unique to you. So thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and I will see you next week.